is going to be a short one. Only a couple of things to pack up. Today is the last day in store. We've been doing no tax on graphic novels, Pokemon and candy and action figures. This is the last day for that. So if you're in the area and want to save 13% on your Pokemon and stuff, this is it. Hardcover crossed anniversary edition, Garth Ennis, Jason Burrows, super dark zombie type thing. I really like it. Chelsea says it's the best thing she's ever read. She won't even turn around because she agrees. And she's embarrassed that she liked it so much because it's so dark. Yeah, if you like something dark.
I liked it a little bit. Huh?
A little bit?
I liked it.
Anyway, this is going to the UK. So there you go. And we're going to top them up with some free stuff. I'll be right back. I got to grab something. Gotta have some freebies ready for people. Since they're in the horror thing, we'll throw in some Something's Killing Children. There's Alice Ever After, and Wolverine with his head on the platter. That's all going to the UK. You know, shipping's expensive, and it's nice to get a little extra, a little bonus. And these are more for our eBay orders, but we have these little cards made up telling people to go to our website, saying thank you, all our social medias. Just gonna test that out, you know, gotta grow the business as best as we can. Going to be here for very long. There's only a couple of orders. Most of the stuff that was ordered last night were pickups and order builds. This guy ordered one lone Dragonlance, a little D&D fan. We do have a Dungeons and Dragons section on our website. DC put out some of that stuff. IDW. There's a few indie publishers that did Dungeons and Dragons. And this is going north to Kenora. It's right near the border. It's in a different time zone. Fun fact for geography people. Different time zone, and it's right on the border of Manitoba. So they're only getting one comic. Might as well throw a bunch of freebies in there. Whoa, sorry guys. All my business cards are buried. And stuff is falling. Yeah. just super organized. How are we feeling? We're feeling all right. You know, it's Friday. I got up tired, been shoveling like mad. Tired of shoveling. Hopefully you're doing all right. All right. Thank you for the follow, fellow Canadian. Let's throw some fun stuff in this guy's bin, because really, he only got one comic. Who knows if he reads comics or just collects Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Maybe we can convert them. Maybe, eh? Oh, I gotta write where this is going. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Hopefully you've got someone to cater on, hand and foot, or vice versa. I've got this one over here. She's going to take care of me tonight. She's going to just do all my work. I'm going to sit in the office and watch YouTube.
Okay. You mean order a pizza?
So this is the last one today, but it's a bit of a bigger one, a little all over. We got some, oh man. So we always do 2 feeds. I always do TikTok and YouTube. And, because why not, right? Camera to camera. Buy Canadian movement attraction during these interesting times. Are there any Canadian indie comic book publishers which one could lend one support? Udon. They do Street Fighter and Darkstalkers, a lot of video game stuff, and they're based out of Canada. But I think their shipping, a lot of their product is in the US, but they are based in Canada. That's one that jumps out. I know Dave Sims sporadically puts something out, and he's a Canadian indie publisher. But yeah, Canadian comic publishers, you're usually going like really, really indie. So the guy who, Captain Canuck, they're kind of defunct. And I know Big B in Hamilton kind of owns like, I think the property and stuff like that, but they don't actually actively publish anything anymore. But yeah, Canadian comic publishers, it's a little limited and more obscure. So there you go. That's the best I can do with that. But, you know, when you're buying, try to buy from Canadian dealers online, because I know there's a lot of options to buy from US buyers on eBay and Amazon and stuff. You can always just choose a Canadian seller, help them out. I know when we go to the grocery store now, we're looking for more Canadian grown fruit and vegetables, and you know. Oh, I forgot to show stuff. There's this guy order builds, so he buys stuff and it sits here, and a lot of new stuff, a lot of Spawn stuff. He's a Spawn buyer, Red Coat. So we love these customers that consecutively every week are buying new releases, pre-ordering stuff. That's another ultimate something, but also buys back issues from us. And they live in Newfoundland. So I guess I've been to Newfoundland a few times, and comic shops are a little limited there. You've got to go to like St. John's. I think there's one in Corner Brook. But it's cool that they found us, and they make use of us and help us pay our bills. And when I first started this business, it was a little simpler because I wasn't bringing a new product. It was old product only, so I didn't have those weekly bills. And now that we bring in new comics, new graphic novels, manga, toys, Funkos, we kind of stopped doing. Candy, t-shirts, posters, supplies, all this stuff. We'll have probably minimum of 5 distributor bills every week that have to be paid. So it's kind of a crazy thing, and every now and again I'm like, maybe I go back to just doing old stock, because we won't have those bills that were like, uh-oh, sales were poor this week. Now we got to pay a few grand into Penguin and Lunar and Diamond and Universal and whoever else. So yeah, thoughts. Always thinking thoughts. We are going to do a Whatnot show. We're going to start Whatnot on Tuesday. We're going to test it out. We don't have the time yet, but it will be during the day, probably early afternoon. We will be doing our first Whatnot show. Whatnot has been reaching out to us for the last year and a half, trying to get us to be a part of it, which is kind of cool. And I got on a phone call with somebody, and they talked me into it. So we're going to give it a try, and we'll see how it works, you know? A lot of people are doing it. We're going to start off small, do some $2 starts. We'll have some ratios. We'll do some giveaways. Probably only 1 or 2 giveaways, but you know, if you're on Whatnot, give us a follow and see when our show starts up. And we'll see if it sticks. See if it sticks. TikTok world, you guys don't often say anything anymore. Used to be the chattiest bunch. We've been done live Instagrams, live YouTube, live TikTok, but TikTok used to be the chattiest of all 3, and now the last few live shows, nobody has said anything. I have 0 room for any free stuff or previews, which is kind of disappointing, because he's a new release buyer. I'm gonna try to cram this in here. And there we go. You got a preview at least. We are going to Toronto for the Toronto Comic Book Show this Sunday. We haven't done it in a long time. What am I up to? Well, most mornings we pack up comic book orders. We're a comic book store. We have an online store, and so we're just finishing up packing up some orders. And thank you for asking the question. I'm kind of gonna do some work in the store. We got new releases to get to. We have to prep for the comic show this Sunday, and we kind of have to prep for a Whatnot show that we're going to try out on Tuesday. All the while catering to customers who walk in the store. But that's it. What's going on with you? Mark Jenkins, ready for Newfoundland. I don't know why I said his name. You don't need to know the customer names. But that's it for the orders. Somebody bought this. They haven't paid for it yet, but it is the Artgerm variant. It's a very hard to find Artgerm cover from A1 Volume 2 from Titan Comics. Cool little piece. Yeah, it's it's not like a comic show where like people do cosplay and there's lots of different things. It's actually straight comic books. And there's very little kids that go to this one. If they're into comics and they know comics, then yeah, it might be good for them. But I wouldn't worry about it. In March, there's a Toronto comic book or Comic-Con, and that's a better one for teens and kids, because you get everything: pop culture, celebrities, guest artists signing stuff, Funko Pops, toys, everything. So don't worry about missing this one-off thing. It's strictly for like kind of like hardcore comic guys who are buying to resell or buying to find deals, and I don't know. It's a different vibe than most comic shows I find. Okay, that's it, guys. Some cool new comics coming out next week. I couldn't believe this was coming out so soon, but the new Zatanna, there's Sozo Micah, there's the Chris Bachalo cover. But yeah, there's some cool stuff coming out next week. And you can attack all that on Tuesday if you didn't already pre-order. That's the end of me. Happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully you're giving out some treats or you're getting them. Just have a good day, or else.